Ugh,
Rough day?
you have no idea.
Let's talk about it.
Being a woman has its advantages, but it's not an easy ride. Balancing careers, relationships, motherhood, family, and life can be quite the challenge. Sometimes you have to be a lady, and sometimes you gotta be a broad. Welcome to the Two Broads from Boca, the place where we talk about all the things you think about but don't say out loud.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Two Broads from Boca. We are here. It is the Monday before Valentine's Day. I am your lovely host, Dr. Amy Schreibman, and this is my lovely co-host.
Lorianne Gary, happy Monday, everybody. So happy to be here.
That's like an oxymoron, don't you think?
What?
Happy Monday? Some
Well, it's
people
happy
don't like
because
Monday.
we're on.
Oh, look at the hair. It's so bad.
It's happy because we're on.
No, it's happy now. It wasn't happy for the rest
Well, no, it's
for
never
the
happy
whole
in the
day.
morning.
No. I have to wear my glasses today because I have a little bit of a headache and I have a sty. So just getting a little personal with my eyeballs. That's why I have glasses on today. I don't wear contacts, but I just can't see. So I don't want to shock the audience today. But we're in red.
Very nice in the glasses.
Thank you so much. I look smart. We're both in red because it's Valentine's Day. I'm wearing a heart on my sleeve. Yeah, so we're here for Valentine's Day. We have a lovely special guest today that's going to be coming on later on. Hi, Molly, and hi, Vicky. Thank you for watching.
Hello,
you look
Molly.
we look pretty in red. We look pretty in anything, Molly. Come on. Molly said we look pretty in red. So yeah, we're talking about a lot of things today about love and Valentine's and the pressure.
Yes, it's a lot of pressure, and I think it's up to us to take the pressure off of
Women unite.
the
Yeah.
guys sometimes because
Yeah, you know, like really, we'll tell you the story when Dawn comes on. Dawn Maslow's going to be joining us shortly, but we'll tell you the story. It's not a big, it's not a lovey holiday. It's quite the anti-lovey holiday. But so we were at the golf tournament last week. It was quite lovely. I got to meet my idol Christine Lynn. I was thrilled about that. You'll see snips coming up of that, of our interviews, and I got to meet Annika Sorenstam, the professional golfer. Lovely woman. It was really nice.
it was really nice. I had so much fun that
It
day. It was really, really good.
Doesn't sweat. I was dying. Doesn't sweat.
Well, the weather was really nice. Actually cooled off at the end of the day, so
It was hot as knots. It was the temperature of the equator. For those of you who don't live in Florida, it was hot.
I know it is. See, all the people that complained about the cold weather, now it's gone.
I love the hot though. I like. Yeah, you like the cold?
cool.
Yeah.
Well, because now we're done. We're only in
Yeah, we're
February.
pretty much on the equator now until when now? Until like December.
And
of
do you
next year.
have plans for Valentine's?
I do not. I do not have plans. I never do that. I'm not a big Valentine's person. I can still tell you my first gift from my husband was a little white teddy bear and a pink rose because we started dating on February 6th. So Valentine, it was very awkward.
Oh, yeah.
And I bought him a baseball filled with chocolate kisses. It was that was
very
all we
cute.
did. But yeah, that was
Well, and
not,
right about now, you have those winners that are texting their soon-to-be ex-girlfriends so that they get out of Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that the
text breakup.
This is the breakup time of the year too, because
Right
they don't
about
want to go
now.
for the gift. Yeah, that is the breakup
And then they
time.
will miraculously reunite.
Oh, that's terrible.
In a
Don't
month when
reunite
things
if they
calm
still.
down.
But guess. By the way, I have to say something. Blake is our engineer. For those of you who've been watching, you know that I have this significant dirty old lady crush on him.
Yeah, I was going to say dirty old lady is more
Dirty
like
old
it.
lady. Right. I'm a fossil. I admit it. But he's so cute. So he's going to be, you'll get to see him. We'll have him come on air every once in a while and I will tease him. And he takes it very well and it's not sexual harassment because he enjoys it.
Oh,
Correct.
Blake, you enjoy it?
Yeah. He knows exactly what to say. But,
Alrighty.
and of course, we have our intern Josh, who is the patience of 10 saints of Job. He's such a good guy. And we love you, Josh.
Yes.
So you can't really graduate. You say we want to keep it just one more. You can't really graduate. But yeah, we're very blessed. We're very, very blessed. Joni's watching, and she said red, red, red.
Oh, I know. I love red.
So what's the deal with the bangs? Are we doing bangs or are we not doing bangs? I enjoy the
So
bangs.
here's the deal. Years ago, I had bangs, and I loved them because, you know, the expression bangs are Botox. So you can kind of cover up your little, you know,
I gotta get
wrinkles
moving.
there.
Then.
But
I gotta make a deal.
But my family, in particular, my daughter, hated the bangs. She's like, Mom, grow out your bangs. And so when she cut them, though, and then you
I
gotta
enjoy
go
a
through that
bang.
whole
That picture was
grow-out
gorgeous.
process again. Well, it wasn't real, though.
It's hair. It grows. Thank God it
I know.
grows.
But then I'm thinking we're coming into the hot months, and then, you know, the bangs get kind of...
Yeah, but they're easy
When
to
you
wash.
sweat and they
Yeah, but it's
stick.
easy. You can nice blow dry them. They look pretty. They fluff up. I enjoy a bang.
It's a big decision.
I'm cutting this mop soon. I'm telling you right now. Everybody's like, don't cut it. Don't cut it.
I see you wear your hair on your left side of your face again.
I can't help it. I tried, and then I look like I have a pompadour. I can't. It's a natural part. This is where it goes. I'm leaving it where it is. And I'm just, if you see what's going on below the waist today, I got like beige flip flops on. I just can't. It's too hot. And, yeah, she's calling me Flippy now. So I'm Snippy and Flippy, and she's just Chippy. So there you go. So what else is going on? We got a lot of things going on. Should we give them a little sneak of what's going to go on next week?
No, I thought you wanted to talk about the ugly Obama portrait.
Oh my God. Now, this is totally a non-political statement. I don't care if you like them, if you don't like them. The people who painted them need to be slapped. It was very, very bad. Did you enjoy them? Did you see them?
I didn't
Go
see
look.
them until
Google.
you showed it to me
Google
before
Obama
the show, and
portraits.
they're
That's
pretty
right.
bad. They're
It's
not
very,
nice.
very
I
bad.
wouldn't hang them up if I were them.
It was very.
I would want to
Poor
read
President Obama. He doesn't even look like he's sitting in the chair. He looks like he's levitating, and he's got all
And he
this
looks really old.
vegetation around him, which I don't get. And he doesn't. They made him look very unattractive. And then poor Mrs. Obama, I didn't care for that picture. She did not look.
She does look very young, though.
No, I'm
But it's
just.
a bad-
I just
it's a
don't
bad
think
job.
they should have made her stand because she's got a presence, and I didn't understand the whole dress. I talk amongst yourselves and figure it out. I just can't. I'm sorry. I don't care for it. I was sad because I think it should have been more fitting for a president and a first lady, and I don't think it was. I do think hers would have been nice, like on a magazine, but not hanging someplace important.
No, it's very odd looking. I
Yeah,
don't like
I
it.
thought it was again. Talk amongst yourselves. Tell us what you think. I would like to know that. I didn't care for it. No, I didn't. But next week I got to tell you something. You got to follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all those things. But next week we're gonna have a little surprise. I think you're gonna be happy surprised, but not like overwhelmed surprised. But I think it'll be nice. What do you think?
Yes.
I think it'll be interesting. Let me just say that it'll be interesting. We're excited. I think. Well, I'm more excited than you are. I think.
Yes, you are.
I know. Because I just am. I'm just that kind of gal. So what's cooking, everybody? How was your weekend? Mine was quite not interesting at all. What did you do, though?
I had a great weekend. I actually went out with Molly on Friday night for some girl time. Much needed girl
Nice.
time. We had a great time. It was nice to catch up. I haven't seen her in a long time.
She's so cute.
And it really is, when you go out with girlfriends, it really does change your, it's like
I'm sure
it
she was
boosts
shooting the
you
mouth. Let me tell you that
and-
right now.
You weren't
Shooting
there,
it.
so hush.
I could just imagine.
And then Saturday night we had the museum, the Boca Raton Museum of Art Gala, which was really, really nice. It was my first time attending that, and I ran into a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while, so it made it even more
Was it good?
fun. It
then?
was great.
No, I mean, was it good running into the people? Did you want to run the other way out?
No, absolutely. It made it that much better. So
You look nice.
it was like a really, like an intimate event, but done very beautifully.
Nice.
and
Where was it? At the museum?
At the Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club. It
Oh,
was
nice,
really, At the
nice.
Yacht Club. And Saks Fifth Avenue was there, and they had the models there with clothes, and it was
Oh,
really, it was
that's
done very,
nice.
very well.
Very nice.
So
What did I do?
this is the height of event season. So pretty much from now until May, I will be at something every single weekend.
I did a science project with my son. I helped one of my students.
Good. I may
do
need
an
you to
interview.
come over to my house.
I'm
and
very
tell
good
him.
at projects. Ask anybody. And my nieces, they got through all the school projects. I think that's why I teach. I should have been a teacher instead of nurse, but now I'm both, so it's okay.
Right.
I'm good. But yeah, I didn't do much of anything except wake up really early and help people. That's pretty much my life.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's why we're here. We're here to help. So listen, we're going to take a very, very small break, and then we're going to bring Dawn Maslow on, and she is going to talk about love and Valentine's Day and the story behind Valentine's Day. It's going to be awesome. We'll see you in a little bit.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, the two broads from Boca are taking a short break. We hope you're enjoying the show. You can find them here live on Facebook every Monday night at 7 p.m. And if you can't watch, you can hear the Two Broads on SoundCloud.com. You can also follow the Two Broads from Boca on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Want to talk about a topic? Leave the Two Broads your comments on their Facebook page or contact them at 2TWO broadsfromboca@gmail.com. Let's rejoin the Two Broads from Boca and let's talk about it.
Hey everybody, we're back, and we are back with our lovely friend of the show, neuroscience biologist, love guru, love doctor, author. I mean, there's an inventor, TED talker. She's pretty magnificent.
She's pretty impressive.
And I'm so excited that you're friends. And we booked her a long time ago to come on because I said, you have to promise me you're not going on anybody else's show. And she's like, no. So Dawn is here, and we're going to talk about, Valentine's Day, love, it's all good until it's not.
Good
You
point.
know, it's true. No, it's all good. Everybody's like you go shop for Valentine's and stuff like. But if you don't have a Valentine's, it's a very stressful holiday for you because you look around and you're like, everybody's got somebody. And I used to call it VD Day. It was terrible for me. It was a very negative connotation for me all those years that I was single, and I hated it because it was like shoved down my throat. So you were telling us a quick, interesting story about the story of Valentine's Day.
Well, the story of Valentine's Day is not as romantic as we might think. The story comes from Emperor Claudius, the second, who decided that none of his soldiers could get married. And Valentine came around and was sneakily marrying his soldiers behind his back, and Claudius found out, had him arrested, and put to death. So as he martyred, he became Saint Valentine's. And the story is, when he was in prison, he passed a note to the jailer's daughter, and that's became the first Valentine.
Oh, not a very loving holiday, might I add.
Yeah, exactly. It was probably a note like, "Help, get me out of here." But the
and then Hallmark capitalized on
say,
that.
when did Hallmark come in? Because that's when everything changed.
But the science behind that is, why would Claudius preclude his soldiers from
Yeah, what do you think?
marriage? Well, it turns out when a man commits to a woman, his testosterone drops. So if you're trying to take over the universe or the world, or at least Europe, you need your
Testosterone and shaft.
you need your,
Not a tough guy when you're in love, are you?
But
There
of
you
course,
go.
they didn't understand the science behind it. He just knew it intuitively.
Wow, isn't that cool?
Wow.
So that makes sense, though. I guess, and the sex part too would kind of jack you up a little bit. Not ready to go out to war, make you a little tired. Well, it's true. Athletes, like before a big game, and
Right.
boxers, they don't engage in sex because it depletes them.
Zaps their energy.
Right.
Saps your energy.
Right.
There you go. I like that. That was a very nice way of saying that. But yeah, so they really don't do that. So
Powerful women.
that's right. I could
Yeah.
say so. I don't think I'm allowed to say what I was thinking, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay, don't.
But yeah, no. But it's okay. So tell us, what do people also like to rush to get? Well, it's Valentine's Day. I got to be in love.
Right. Well, I was going to tell you that impending ball of Valentine story.
Oh yes, this is a great story.
So before I got into my relationship, Valentine's Day was coming, and I was single, and it was like one of those like, it's coming, you don't have anybody, and what are you gonna do? And I picked up one of those city papers, and I was reading it, the free paper, and this was 10, 11 years ago, and it had a story about these people that had a homeless village down in Miami, and it was talking about how this property was supposed to have a housing development, but it didn't, and the people were staying there in this cardboard village. And at the end of the story, it made a list of all the things that they needed. And I thought, there's my Valentine's Day. So I called a friend of mine. I said, look, I'm thinking about getting some stuff together and taking it down for these people for this cardboard
Cool.
village for Valentine's Day. And she's like, yeah, let me come with you. So I actually made little Valentines. I cut like the little hearts out, you know, with the and I put it on. I got boxes of water, and I put it on, or you know, bottles of water. Put it on the
That was cool.
and boxes. I got a couple boxes of chocolates and stuff, and I brought it down there. And the really cool part was, I had this. It was not that long after Wilma that this had happened, and somebody had thrown an old tarp in my. At the time, I had a truck. And a woman came up and they were taking out all the canned goods and stuff. And she goes, you can have that tarp? And I was garbage. I was getting ready to throw it out. And I'm like, no, you can have it. And I gave her the tarp. And she got a tear in her eye. She goes, thank you. I have a roof now.
Oh. But see, that's the whole thing. I think that love doesn't have to always be romantic love.
Right.
And I think sometimes we forget when you look for something so much, it kind of pushes it away from you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I
That
think you
felt
have
better. That felt
Right.
better than any romantic
Romantic love.
gesture that could have happened if I had a guy in my life
Right.
at the time, because that really warmed my heart, because it was just pure love with no
no gain.
expectation.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Well, do you think because it's love really is a metabolic thing and a chemical thing that goes on in our bodies? Do you think that people sense when someone is desperate?
Oh,
I hate
absolutely.
that word, but that feeling.
that look.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, how?
Well, I call it dating in a dress. I mean, when you show up on the first date and you already got the wedding dress picked out.
Yeah. That's a mood killer.
Yeah, and guys just go, whoa, you can see the fear in there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, women are the prize. We are built to be the prize, and he's built to pursue us. So when we just throw ourselves at him, it's something I call the possum effect. So think about it. If you ever, the possum is the only marsupial in the United States that still survived. It was around during the dinosaurs. It's like the only animals around during the dinosaurs. It's lasted a long time. So how does it survive? Well, one of the things that happens is if a wolf chases it, what does it do? It falls over. Now you would think that the wolf would go, oh, bonus, score, eat it, right? Because it's a free meal.
Right.
But the wolf backs up because there's a small part of his brain that says something's wrong. This is
This
too
is
easy.
bad.
Too easy, and it backs him up. And the same thing happens when a woman throws herself at a guy. There's a part of his brain
Listen up, ladies.
Oh, you hussies, listen up.
there's a part of his brain that says this is too easy, something's wrong. Now, it doesn't mean he might not partake of the meal, but
Oh, yeah.
But he ain't staying
Guaranteed
around
we're
for it.
taking-
yeah, exactly. It's like
He ain't staying
the
around for
nuts
dessert.
yeah.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense, because I will tell you, when I met my husband, oh my God, I was so mean to him. Not in an intentional way. I was just like, I'm on nothing to do with you or this. You're too
Your
young,
husband's so
whatever.
sweet.
And he is, and he was so young. That's why I was like, no thanks.
Well, and usually they
He
want
still
what they
is.
can't
What
have,
happened?
so-
No, but I'm saying he being so much younger than me, I was like, no thanks, I'm not interested. And I really believe now, 20 years later, but I look back and I think it was the chase. I think it was the fact that, well, she's not. I'm getting her. Like it was now a conquest, exactly. And I don't know what it.
Well, the chase builds dopamine, and dopamine is one of the neurotransmitters required for a man to fall in love.
All right, so ladies, this is an important
the
thing.
science behind
This
it.
is no, but it's true. But think about it. It's an important thing. You got to do what you got to do. It's not about. We're not making. This is not a moral judgment at all. This is just like we're trying to be smart about it. I think that a lot of times women often ask the question, what happens if it happens on the first date, or I'm 45 years old, what am either we are going to like each other or not, it doesn't matter. Clock's ticking. But no, I'm just like, should we act a certain way when we date?
So, you want me to tell you about the Coolidge effect?
I would like to hear this.
So, the Coolidge effect is named after Calvin Coolidge.
I know who that is.
So, the story goes, Calvin Coolidge was on a tour of a chicken farm with his wife. And his wife was up ahead, and she looks over, and this rooster's being quite amorous with this hen. So she looks to the attendant, she goes, ooh, is that rooster like that all the time? And he goes, yes, ma'am, all day, every day. She goes, oh, tell President Coolidge that. So the attendant runs back and he says, President Coolidge, your wife wanted me to point out this rooster to you. So he looks over and he's, taking advantage of this hen. And the president goes, I see, son. Is he like that all the time? And the attendant says, yes, sir, all day, every day. And he goes, that's what I thought, son. Let me ask you one more question. Is it the same old hen every day? And the attendant says, no, sir, it's a new hen every day. And he goes, now tell Mrs. Coolidge that. And that became known as the Coolidge effect. If I take a box of rats and I put female rats, and I put a male rat in, he will have his way with every female rat in there to the point of exhaustion. And then he'll fall over in the corner. They can lick and try to entice him, and he will not get up unless I put a new female rat in.
That dirty bitch.
Hey.
And his dopamine skyrockets.
Hey, what's up with
And he's
that?
up
And
at him.
that, gentlemen,
Is the
is
Coolidge effect.
all I have to say. That's it.
I
Really?
love that. Wow, that's very interesting.
So basically, you conquer the room and you just wait for the new chick to walk in. Is
Right.
that true?
Nice.
Is that true, fellas?
They're all
Look at
bashful.
two
over
deer in the
there.
headlights.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
they're doing the wave. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we don't- that's not us. What are you talking about?
It's,
It's not gonna be
you know,
a good
that is
ending.
very interesting to me. That
really
is,
is,
don't
yeah.
you think?
Mhm.
But okay, then let's talk about the fact. Okay, he's exhausted. A new chick walks in there,
All of a sudden,
wakes
you're
up
not
again.
exhausted.
How does that one male pick one to be the life partner?
It's the one, the dopamine. It gets into satiation mode. So if you're moving up and you don't satiate it, then it won't drop back down. So once it's basically, once he's satisfied, there's no more. But if he still needs to work for it, keep working for it without satiation, it'll keep building up.
Wow.
That's dopamine is one of the neurotransmitters. The other one is vasopressin. Vasopressin increases when he's sexually excited
I know.
and rapidly decreases when at orgasm.
Yes.
So you need to kind of get them enticed, but keep them marinated in it for a
There you
while.
go. I think then we should. I wonder if there's a connection because of the dopamine situation with Parkinsonian, and how men have lived their lives sexually or love-wise, and what happens with their dopamine when that's what we should do a study.
Well, yeah, it's kind of scary because then you have like schizophrenia built in there too if it's
for
too
the
high.
love of God.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay, we have now
Yeah,
drawn the
yeah,
line.
we're going too far off on the dopamine. Let's
I have
talk
to be
about the fun
honest with you.
stuff on dopamine.
I will be honest with you. I mean, many of us have been out there and dated and kind of fit all those molds. No, it's not easy dating. I will say that for men or for women. I don't think it's an easy prospect
Well, now
today.
a lot of it, from what I hear from people who are single, it's not necessarily one-on-one anymore. It's kind of like you
It
meet
should
up
be.
and-
It should be
I don't know how
multiple.
you build
Well, I
a
think a lot of it's
relationship
going
like
on
that,
with the phone.
though. How do you
Gentlemen,
build
you're
it?
young enough. Do you like date on the phone? They call it like a dating, the tweeting, not the
Dating app.
tweeting, the texting. You're over it already? And you? You're over it already? You're a dandelion. Real? But did that happen to you? Did you do the dating texting thing? Like you're seeing a girl, but you're really just not seeing her. You're texting. I don't understand that.
How do
I have
you-
no
how do you
use.
build
I'm
a
tired.
relationship? You
I
can't.
can't.
Well, what I was saying, the multiple is that women really shouldn't date. When you date one at a time, when you serial date like that, you put a lot of pressure on each particular date. So if you're dating multiple people, but not necessarily becoming sexual with them,
Right.
and then once you choose which one you become sexual with, then you narrow it down. But when you first start dating, just date several different people and don't put all the pressure on that one person, because that's huge. Because when you're sitting there and you're trying to decide, is this the person I want to be with, and you're like interrogating them, and
Yeah.
It's like an interview.
Yeah. It is an interview.
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah.
not fun.
That's
No,
not
it's
fun.
not fun.
It should be a preview
And I think
of your life together.
whether it's a man or a woman, when you feel like you're being interviewed, you're like, I don't want the job, thanks, I gotta go.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't like
Right.
it. I never liked that.
Well, I think that comes out of the frustration of dating multiple people, and maybe the last 3 dates were horrible, and now it's like you just want to get to the point.
Right, cut to the
Maybe.
chase.
Yeah,
What's
but
your
you
deal
can't.
breakers?
Right.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
sometimes too.
How do you like your mother?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Mine is always, so, how's your family? Do you have a lot of brothers and sisters? Do you hang out? I always wanted to know about that, because if they weren't good with their family, it would make me very nervous.
Right, yeah.
You know.
How's your credit score?
Yeah. Do you have a job? Are you employed?
Do you have an ankle bracelet on?
Are you Lindsay Lohan with the ankle bracelet?
Can you vote?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't know. I think today it's very different. I don't think that there's enough personal time. I see with my girlfriends who are, not married, and they're trying to meet people. They do a lot of the dating online, and not always what you see is what you get. And I don't mean just looks wise. I mean, the person. And then when they're having this wonderful relationship through a machine,
Right.
and then when they meet, it blows up.
And isn't it like 3 months? Isn't it? That used to be like.
Or 3 dates.
No, 3-month mark. Like the person can no longer hide who they are after 3 months. Is that true?
I've been doing it for 23 years.
The
now.
real persona comes out. All of a sudden, you see this different person. You're like, what
Who are you?
Yeah, you do want to date for a little while, because because you want to get to know the person, and for a while people will kind of hide their flaws, but eventually you're going to find them out.
Yeah, you can't hide for long.
Yeah.
You can't. You just can't, because no one, unless you're like a professional at it, like the con artist people, which sadly I've dated several of them before I got married. It's terrible. It is, because I think that people. I'm not, and this has nothing to do with gender. I just think people in general want to be in love.
Love is the strongest desire.
Right.
It is a natural biological desire. In fact, babies will die without love.
I agree, and that's a fact. I mean, that's a scientific fact. If a child doesn't get love and affection and touch, things like that, or spoken to, they die. I mean, that's just
Within
called
the first
failure.
year.
It's called failure to thrive, and that's the truth. But I think when you go with the intention of, this may happen or this may not happen, whatever, I think everybody tries to go with the intention of having an open heart. And then you get the people that have been repeatedly hurt, and then you get that bitter guy or girl.
Every guy they meet, they're, this is the one.
This is it.
I'm so excited.
And you're
Sleep
just
with
like,
them on the first date. This
incorrect.
Is it. A month later, what happened? Oh no, he's been gone. I went to this one, and this guy's great.
Yeah, I know.
How could you have that lust?
I think lust is more powerful.
That's norepinephrine.
I love
that's-
norepinephrine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
I do. I love when my patients are on it.
It's
too.
Mother Nature way of tricking you into having sex right away.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Norepinephrine it's a fight or flight response, and it's meant to be temporary, and it's that excitement thing, the rapid heartbeat, and you basically are like, wow, this is the person. You start feeling those feelings, and it's lust, and it looks like Mother Nature has attached it to fear. So the same feeling you get when you feel like you're in love with this guy is the same feeling as if a masked gunman walked in the room. It's the same exact
chemicals, same exact feeling.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I looked at if you look at the history of humans, why would Mother Nature link stress and sex? Well, it makes perfect sense. If you are in a war or a famine, the last thing you want to do is have sex. But if you connect fear and sex, now all of a sudden there's guns going off and you're in the woods, underneath the bushes
going at it,
reproducing the next next generation, because both of you might not make it out of there.
Oh wow.
So it's pretty clever of her. She's a pretty clever woman.
Eric says he misses the good old days of meeting people in bars drunk.
Yeah, there you go.
I agree.
Yeah.
What happened to that? No one does it anymore.
It's a shame, isn't it?
It is.
I have to tell you, there's like this thing now. If a girl is out with her friends and a man wants to come up, it's supposedly a no-no because she's with her girls. Me, I'd be like, come on, honey.
Yeah.
Come on. If I saw you at the lake, come on, I'd be like, come over here. If you didn't have a girlfriend, we'd get you one that night. But I'm just trying
Listen,
to
if
say.
the guy has the courage to do it, because it can be
That's what I'm
intimidating
trying to
walking
say.
up
Why
to
would
a
you?
pack of
Women
but
turn them.
I
I
give him
saw it.
credit if he
I
does
saw it. I saw it done. I saw it done. Noah and I went out to dinner a couple of months ago, and we were in Meisner, and this gaggle of women were sitting around, and trust me, they really should have let this boy talk to them. And they're like, no, we're out with our friends. We're not talking to men tonight.
Oh, see, that's silly.
I just shot her a dirty look and was like, you're dumb. He was a nice looking guy, and he took, there was 7 of them. And you know what? That could have been the one.
Right.
There you go.
And that's part of the problem. We create these artificial rules.
What is that? What?
There's a lot of that going on these days.
And they're crazy. Yeah, it's like you were
taking
saying.
offense. That whole thing with Ashley Judd in the airport.
Oh, what happened now with her?
Well, we don't
Security guard complimented her, said nice dress.
so she
and she
said-
went live. She tried to get him fired and said it's harassment. This is the woman that stayed quiet with
Can I be honest with
for
you?
how many years?
When a
and
man
she's at
tells
an
me
airport.
anything positive, or a woman, I'm like, I think it's nice to say that to someone. I always
Right,
tell
instead of
people
her
that.
saying thank you for the compliment, she was thoroughly offended
But
and said
I
she
think-
felt like and then at one point he touched her arm to
I know.
move her, and she said she felt like she was violated
Yeah,
because
but
he
I think
touched
that
her
that's a
arm. I
whole
mean,
other agenda going on there, and a little bit
I'm
of
just
illness.
saying, it's getting tougher and tougher for men. Now you can't even compliment a woman.
She's had some illness, hasn't
Yeah, she has.
She's
She's been institutionalized for a while.
Yeah.
I think we're dealing with something that's a little not correct there. But I agree with you. Everything you have to be
It's
panic
careful. Yeah,
stricken
you gotta
to
be very
say.
careful.
Blake, please don't call the police. But no, I'm serious. I don't understand that either. Because look, there is definitely a line crossed when you get sexually harassed, and you know that. Nobody should be
And
patting you,
know
on
the
your ass or
difference
anything
in
like
the
that.
way that it's
Yeah.
presented
But if
to
somebody
you, the way
says
it's
to you,
said, the look,
"Wow, you look pretty today," you know,
Right.
you take that in your little pocket and you feel good with it the rest of the day. I'll tell the man, "Wow, you look really nice today." Doesn't mean I want to, have sex with him.
It doesn't.
Sure he does.
It doesn't.
But no, I just think everything is very much blown out of proportion.
Yes.
Well,
And I
she
think
probably
that's-
was hoping for more publicity. She hasn't
Oh,
really
she
been.
got slammed for it. People did
No,
not
I'll drink
take
to
to
that.
it well. I mean,
Well,
it was
yeah, but you know what they
not
say: as
good.
long as you spell my name right.
Exactly. No,
Exactly.
bad press is
That's
still
right.
press.
Mhm.
But I think it's sad. I think it's very, very sad. And I think even with the phones, within family dynamics or relationship. Noah and I went to dinner a couple of nights ago.
Somebody got a compliment.
You look great, Laura. She always looks great.
Oh,
And the
nice.
cheese
Thank you,
stands
Mike.
alone. Just saying. Just saying, Michael.
I think she's
Just
offended.
saying, you
I
could
think she's
say,
offended.
I'm offended.
I'm
No,
offended that you
Let
didn't
me just
compliment.
announce this. I'm never offended on a compliment.
No, me neither.
I mean, the day that you stop getting compliments, I'm gonna be.
Then you
really-
should be offended.
Then you should be offended. Exactly.
No, I think even but the dynamics of how kids even play today. It's, you parallel play at a certain age in their development, and then you're supposed to group play. You know that as a teacher. You know that as a scientist. Now they just continue to parallel play. I'll have like 4 boys in my house watching the football game, and they're all
on their phones. I know.
And I'm
What's
like,
the point?
nobody.
agree.
Even on dates, they don't talk to each other. They talk to the phone. I wonder if they
Well, I was
text
talking
each
to
other.
my 16-year-old over the weekend, my son, and I said something. My daughter happened to be in the room too. She's going to be 14 this month, but I said something. It's so sad that guys and girls don't go out, on dates. And I said to Michael, is there anybody that you're interested in dating? And he goes, nobody dates. What are you talking about? Christina goes, yeah, Mom. Like
I have
like,
no
I
idea
felt
what goes
so,
on.
Like I felt this big, and
No,
I
I
said,
know.
what do you mean no one date? Nobody. No, we go out as groups. There's what?
I don't know.
What do you
All I
date
ask
then?
my children every day, I said,
College?
"Do you meet a nice girl? Have you met somebody that you think is? Do you think a girl is pretty? Do you think a boy is handsome? I don't care if they like
Moms,
anybody.
They go in big groups.
Yeah,
there's
it's not-
no-
yeah. Well, I'm okay with that.
But
'cause
they,
that's-
then they section off like they'll hook up, but then they'll go
See,
back
I am
to the-
very
it's very
confused with what
strange.
hookup means. Are we hooking up, or are we hooking up just like?
Means you don't date.
Yeah, it's a booty call.
Oh, so it's strictly bootyish.
Yeah.
Stuff you work for without working.
Okay, so hookup it definitely
Hook
means
up and
booty.
hang out. Like, do you want to hang out?
So
Net,
no-
net chicks and Phil. Netflix
Netflix
and chill.
and
yeah.
So
chill,
Netflix
yeah.
and chill means really movie and sex.
Yes.
Oh, I don't care for that.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I would like to. Noah and
I
my
think
second
it's
date was
sad
I made
that
him
they're
dinner. We
not
watched a movie and
having
we
that
chilled. We really did. There was no sex.
butterflies and-
That poor man waited a very long time. I held out 6 months.
Good for you.
Oh, I was done. I was like, look, I ain't got no time for this. I'm old. Either you like me or you don't. These are my rules. I was testing him. He followed the rules, I got to say. I give him credit. If anybody else would have shot me by like the third. It was very nice. He took me away to Disney. It was so nice. And that's, we did it in Mickey Land. It was so nice.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it was very nice.
How nice for you, Amelia.
Oh my God, my kids, I forgot to go to rewatch. But we were married when we did that. We were married.
Don't worry, Disney World. It was many, many, many moons ago.
Oh yeah, Mickey was young then when we went. Yeah. No, I think Walt was still alive when that was going on. But no, but we were married, kids. I promise you, we were very married when we went. But anyway, no, but seriously, I don't understand anything. It makes me feel like a fossil. I am a fossil, basically, but I don't understand. That's why everyone gets divorced, I think, because there's nothing. There's nothing that's
special.
No, nothing.
None of it's special. It's like,
all these little girls taking naked pictures of themselves, texting them out to everybody. Why are you doing that? Keep that stuff covered, man.
I think in some ways we the sexual revolution kind of hurt ourselves as a species.
I
think it's going to
agree.
in the long run.
I like when somebody opens the door. Nothing irritates me more when you're walking through the door and the guy's in front of you and he just slams it on you. I'm like the first one going, really? Chivalry is dead. I get very annoyed.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of people I know that are single. I was just having this conversation with a friend the other night, and she's one of those people who says, hey, I want the guy to pursue me. I'm not going to chase after him.
I like that.
That's how we're biologically
I want you to
built.
ask me out. I don't want to ask you out. I don't want to push you into a date. And the guys take it as she's a bitch or she's disinterested.
Well, no, here's the thing. You have to be receptive. And there's the real challenge. So you need to be receptive without being overly aggressive. So you basically indicate that you are interested to the guy and then allow him to pursue.
Right, but he wasn't coming back with the pursue.
Well, then he wasn't for you. That's what you got to say.
That's like,
I mean, I think there is, when people say that there has to be chemistry, there is a biologically, neurologically sound thing that there has to be.
Well, if a guy's
chemistry.
not willing to fall in love, he's not willing to pursue.
Exactly.
So he's not going to take that risk, but he'll take the low-hanging fruit.
Hello, Andrea and Howie. Thank you for watching. And Linda, I saw your yikes. I laughed, but yeah, it was a yikes moment. But I think I think that they do. Do you believe in the 3-date rule, or do you feel like if there's no chemistry?
Oh, you want to know about the 3-date
I
rule?
do.
That's, oh my goodness.
I do, because that's a big thing. Because women, for me,
So
I
I've
know
got
the
this
first
guy
date.
that I know he's running around going, I got this thing licked. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, it's 3 dates. All I have to do is take him out on 3 dates, and they sleep with me.
Oh.
And he's like, so 3 dates her, 3 dates her, 3 dates her, 3 dates her. I'm like,
Oh God, I am so glad. No, but what about like women will say, I went out with him and there was no chemistry, I'm not going out with him again.
well, I always say, that's the 3-date rule. Go out with him for 3 dates before you say
And
no.
no hooking up
Correct.
or chilling, whatever.
Well, here's the thing. When a man commits to a woman, that's when his testosterone drops. And we see that as a precipitating cause for him to falling in love. And when a woman has an orgasm, she's more likely to fall in love. So if you want to both fall in love at the same time, you need to have a commitment prior to the sexual act.
You listening, boys? Oh my God, that's really interesting. That's really cool. I think we learned a lot here today about love and Valentine's, don't you think? So, Dawn, how can somebody? I know you've written several books, so you can.
And I should have brought one.
I forgot.
My
I
purse.
left it home, but tell them the titles of your books.
Okay. The latest one is Men Chase, Women Choose: The Neuroscience of Meeting, Dating, Losing Your Mind, and Finding True Love.
I have that book. It's a good book.
And I also have one that I wrote years ago. It was originally titled The Broken Picker Fixer, and then it was retitled From Heartbreak to Heart's Desire.
There you go. So, and you can get them on Amazon, which is where I got mine.
But I do want to say, getting back to the topic of people who aren't in relationships, those that are single or maybe recently, unfortunately, widowed, or to go out on Valentine's Day. I mean, I look at it as just another day.
Right,
but
me too.
it can be very.
Well, fortunately,
Dramatic.
it's on a Wednesday this year, so
Yes.
it's not like this. If it's on a Saturday, and you're like,
Right, it's worse.
But I think
I got to do
But
something.
I think going and doing something with a friend or your girlfriends or a guy friend or And taking a
Just
class,
get out,
like
yeah.
go do one of those art.
Be your
and,
own
you know,
Valentine.
find
You know,
something
I'm
that's-
serious. I think the
treat
most
yourself
important
to
thing is
something.
you really have to love yourself in order to love. I mean, that's a given.
Yes.
In order to be able to fully fall in love with somebody, you really have to
Well,
love who you are. And I don't mean conceited love, or
Right.
you know, I mean you really have to love who you are.
That's not necessarily true. You can fall in love without loving yourself,
I agree, but then
but you
always,
can't stay in love.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. If you really don't care about your own self, the love is going to be fleeing.
You're gonna
that you find.
you're gonna be going every couple of years to relationship, new relationship, new relationship. But if you love yourself, then you're going to have the fortitude to be able to, because we talked about the crazy stuff that happens to your brain. That only lasts for about 2 years, and then your brain comes back. So you have to be able to weather that storm. And parts of your brain that were associated with past memories and your selfishness comes back and all that. You have to be able to deal with that in the relationship. And it's kind of like Mother's Nature's way of getting you too close to have a partner, and then she doesn't give it to you all at one time. She kind of like gives you a little bit, and then it's like, oh, you know, you're 3 years down the road, and you're like, oh, by the way, did you notice that he snores? And did you notice that he really didn't like his mother?
And spits in your sink.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so you can integrate that and really learn how to practice love, because that's after two to 3 years. It's really about practice more than the feeling of love.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because I was looking up stuff before you came on and at home, and it said people who get married after 2 years, you have a longer marriage than people who get married right away.
Yeah.
Which is well, and it makes sense because you don't have that, you know, new energy head, new
Right.
energy relationship head. You know, you kind of settled down and got into the thick
You
of
can
things.
see him clearly.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I think it is funny because, you know, when you date in the beginning, you know, you always have a new outfit on, your hair is perfect, you know, you make sure you drink Listerine just to make sure that you will never, you know, you God forbid you burp or the other thing, which is like a total faux pas, you know. So you're very cognizant of your behavior, but then you know you're with somebody long enough, and then you get married and you throw kids in the mix, and
Well, and you miss
know.
that feeling
Yes.
that you had in the beginning.
and
You
it's
wanna
terrible.
feel
How
it
do you
every-
get? People ask me all the time. I'm like, I'm a nurse, not a magician. How do you get that feeling back?
Dopamine. New
I
and
gotta go
novel
start chewing
things.
dopamine.
No, new and novel things. By
I was
doing
gonna
new.
say, is she talking about like, hey, go out and
He's
find
like,
your partner?
I'm gonna
No,
start an IV
Have an
dopamine
affair.
drip tomorrow. What do you do?
Do new and novel things with your partner. So do stuff that you haven't done before, and the more exciting, the better, and that helps increase not only the dopamine but also the endorphins. So and
There
that
you
gives
go.
you that.
Any sex in
No,
public places.
No, it's not
Like
sex in
Disney
public
World.
places. I mean,
No,
it's
we
like,
didn't do it we did it in the hotel, but when we were married.
It's like take a course or go see a different play or go out of town, go to a new town and,
I
and
think
sightsee.
that's true. I
All
think
those-
You know
that's
what?
true.
You know what? Now that you say it, it makes me think. Because Peter and I this was a while ago. And the first time we played golf together, and we both left the golf course, and we said, "Wasn't that like the best day?" And it was something we had never done
Aw,
together before.
So nice.
But it gave that feeling.
Exactly.
So I can see where that would be.
Mhm.
And I think that's the thing. Everybody gets in a rut, and you just do your same old.
You do
It's
thing.
true.
every Friday
It's
night.
true.
Go to
You're going to
dinner,
the same
let's go.
place, and
And that to me is the worst date. That
Terrible.
dinner.
Sometimes
hate
I'd
it.
rather not go than to have that feeling
I
of
hate it. There's a dread.
it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't like doing just that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But sometimes I just like let's take a drive to Miami and walk around.
So maybe that's
You
the
know.
gift, that you're looking for, a new experience
Yeah.
versus actually stressing
Yeah,
yourself
that's
out
it.
on what should I get my.
And it's
Person,
I think it's so funny
right?
the
because
new
the new,
experience is
yeah.
much better than
I
the
think so.
biggest box of chocolates or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, I really like that. think
I
that's a great
like that.
idea,
That's a
yeah.
very good idea. So do that. Plan something new with your significant other or for yourself.
Just
Go
not
do something.
skydiving for me. I'll
No,
never do
I
that.
won't do that.
Indoor skydiving.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
Yes,
that.
yes, that I could
That's
do.
new and novel. I would try it.
Oh God, he doesn't even like to go on the rides at Disney. But I really do think that even for yourself, take yourself someplace different, new. Go take a walk in another community. Go drive somewhere. I think go to an art class. Read a book. Go to
I
bar.
don't even say
No.
say, hey, I got. an
I did
idea
something for
tonight,
me
let's go.
today.
Yeah.
I think that's
Like a little
cool.
surprise. I like that.
I do. I like that. I like that.
take a pottery class. Have one of those ghost modes.
I was just gonna say, get him behind you,
that's
do a little
great.
ghost. If that didn't wind up too well, he's alright.
That would be the idea in our head of what we would look like, but it would not.
Oh
look
God,
like
isn't that terrible though? I do that all the time. What you think you look like, and then the reality
like
of it.
these girls
very
that put their
bad.
hair up in messy buns and they walk out and they look adorable. I do it and I look like a
No,
homeless
you look
person.
beautiful. I look like the homeless person. She's such a liar.
Oh,
No,
I'm not.
I
lying.
look like really some days that I should be on the most wanted list. I'm not kidding. And that's when you meet everybody. Everyone.
That's when you run into all the people you don't
and
wanna see,
every
right?
ex-boyfriend you ever had suddenly moved to Boca Raton.
Oh.
It's gorgeous. It's very
That's
beautiful.
why you always have to look good.
You know, I don't have time for that all the time. I can't. I'm up at 4 a.m. How good can you look at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're barely awake and you're at the gym? Did you see the picture I posted of me and my trainer? She looks like the
No.
Barbie, and I look like the girl that's needs the cardiac arrest. It's very
I
funny.
didn't
You should
see it, I
go
missed
scroll
that.
my page. So how can anybody get in touch with you if they need, if they want to get in touch with you?
I'm on Facebook. You can be my friend, Dawn Maslar, Maslar. DawnMaslar.com is my website. I'm on Twitter. You can follow me.
There you go. I did today,
Did you?
actually. Yes, I did. So that's how you can get a hold
Instagram.
of Dawn, and Instagram. She's just like us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
Yep,
Twitter. Where else are we? I think that's enough.
it.
That's enough.
Yeah,
that's
that's
enough. We're good. We're good. Anyway, so we are going to say thank you for coming, and we are going to have
Thank you for having me.
going down the road. We are going to try to do a another girls' night out soon. So, and Dawn will probably come and talk to all of you on how to meet men. We'll probably get men to go. We're going to have Blake and Josh with us too eventually. But next week we're going to have a little surprise. Should we say it? No, we're not saying it. But it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. And I think we're off the air. Are we off the air? Because it's spinning. Oh no, we're back on the air. Thought we were off the air. But we're going to say good night. And thank you so much for watching. We hope you learned something. We hope you had fun. And happy Valentine's Day. Remember, love yourself first. And
Have a great week, everybody.
Good
See you
night.
next week.
thank you.
Thank you for joining the Two Broads from Boca. You can see us live every Monday at 7 p.m. on Facebook. See you next week, and remember, keep it classy, sassy, and a little smartassy.